Hey, welcome to Incoherent Ramblings with your host, Mo Busy, Isaiah, whichever one you want to call me. So I'm back with some more ramblings. This one not going to be as fun, probably, as some of the other ones, assuming you found those fun in the first place. This one's probably going to be a bit more serious, I suppose. Incoherent Ramblings is at its core just me, right? It's whatever I feel like talking about, whatever I'm feeling like, whatever I'm thinking, and yeah, and yeah. So let's get to it, right? Fuck, man. Things are strange. Life is a very strange thing. It's very scary at times, right? And sometimes you don't really know where it's going or why it's going where it's gone. And then sometimes you do realize why something the way it is. It's hard to accept. I am a person that I think often struggles with communication and building relationships with people, be that friends, family, romantic relationships. I've always struggled with just talking, right? And you might not see that from my my presence on camera, which I'm not sure whether I have a great camera presence, but I don't know if I've gotten better. I can talk to people more. I can keep talking, but I feel like oftentimes I find myself defaulting to a character, right? And characters are fun sometimes, right? Characters are great when you want to be playing a character, right? But when you feel like you need to belong, it's a frightening thing, and then you grow so attached to that character you've put on because it makes things easier, right? It makes it easier to talk to people. It makes it easier to build friendships, right? But at the same time, when people do accept you, when people do let you in and you're playing that character, and then you care about them, and then you start to feel like you're lying, but you don't know how to stop. You're stuck in a way, right? You feel like you have to keep playing that character, or they'll know you're an imposter, right? You won't belong, and that's frightening, and it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to let go of that character. It's hard to really be you because at a certain point, you leave it on so long, you leave that mask on so long, and it starts to just kind of fuse with you, and taking it off hurts, It's, in a way, a part of you, right? And like a hoarder, you keep on grasping onto it, every time you start taking it off, you just put it right back, you keep tugging, and then somebody tries to help you, and you fight back, you just can't let go, because for a while it made you feel okay, or at least better, but at a certain point, you gotta let it go, right? You gotta be you, because no matter how flawed and confused and frightened you are, that character is going to be so much more flawed and terrifying than you'll ever be, just because it's built on a misconception, right? It's built on the idea that this is what you're supposed to be. This is what a person is, right? But by default, your view of what a person is, of how a person acts, how a person should be, is flawed. Because you're still figuring that out yourself, so you're putting on, in a way, a caricature of humanity, of personhood. Because you just feel like you're not quite there yet, and you don't want to put yourself in that place. You know, not until you're ready, but you're never gonna be ready if you don't just be you, you know? You know, I'm a person that I think most of my experience, most of my existence has been plagued with fear of abandonment, fear of not knowing, fear of being, fear of not being, you know, but most importantly, the fear that things aren't going to be okay, that the things you love and the things you care about are going to disappear. And, you know, I tried to grab on so hard so many times. You know, I've done that. I've ruined relationships multiple times because you try to grab on and you're so afraid that people are going to leave that you end up making them leave, you know? And then there's other times where it's the same fear, but you try the opposite. And the same thing happens, you know? You try doing nothing, and then people disappear, right? And it's hard finding that balancing act, you know, finding the right spot to be. You know, finding the midpoint, the point that works, you know, finding how do letting go too is remarkably difficult, you know, letting go of that fear. It sounds like a simple concept. I know what the issue is. I know what's causing all these problems, but knowing what the problem is and solving it are two very, very different things, you know? And, I don't say all this to, you know, necessarily be a downer, right? Like I said, this is made with the intent for me to be me, to just talk, right? And honestly, probably no one's going to see this, right? But I figure if someone does and they're in a similar spot, they're confused, they're afraid, at least they'll know, like, it ain't just me, you know? And everybody says that, but it's true, you know? Seeing other people talk about it helps sometimes, you know? Sometimes more than talking to your therapist. Sometimes more than... Now, mind you, you should if you need it, you know? But sometimes just hearing from someone whose job isn't to make you feel better, whose job isn't to help you understand, just hearing their experience is different, because they're not being paid. They don't have a reason necessarily to share this besides the fact that they want to, you know, besides the fact that they just want, that they just want to share, you know. And I figure, you know, whether or not anybody sees this, whether or not anybody knows my name, you know, eventually, I'm gonna, hopefully I have kids or something, right? That's the plan. Not anytime soon, mind you, but, and when I do, they'll have a catalog, right? A catalog of me, right? And they'll see that, hey, as fucked up as I'm feeling right now, at least I'm not the only one feeling this, and that the people closest to me have also felt this and have continued forward, and become better, hopefully, And I do think I will become better. I do think I'll become a better person, a stronger person than the one I am today. But, it's going to take time. I know that. And, going back to losing friends, it is a very frightening thing, a very scary thing. You have this trust and this safety you feel, right? When you know there's people that care about you and that you care about. And then when they're gone, it's scary. Because, logically, there will be more. If there's 1, 2, 3 people that make you feel this way, there's gonna be 1, 2, 3 more. But illogically, it's you still. There's still this feeling that there won't be, right? And I don't say illogically as if that's a bad thing, because the reason you feel the way you do is because these people were there and they made you happy, and now they're not. But the fact that they were there means that your life has so many more happy moments than you would have had they not been there, And that's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, I think. Yeah, fuck me. Sorry. Yeah. A strange individual, not necessarily like, I don't know, I just, oftentimes I feel like I don't know how to be a person, right? I don't know how to interact, I don't know how to interact with people. I don't know how to just be, I don't know how to explain it necessarily, But I think you get what I'm saying. I hope you get what I'm saying. One moment. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, I think really there was. I don't know. I think that's it for now. This was a short one. Probably gonna be very. I don't know. I might sprinkle in some more ones talking about just how I'm feeling. Mental health, I guess. I feel like those are important. But this isn't gonna be an everyday thing, or an every Incoherent Ramblings edition thing. Just one off here and there. Just a little update, because I do think these are important. I'll figure out some way to differentiate them from the bunch, just that people don't come in expecting a good laugh and end up feeling all sad. Oh, actually, one more thing. I do hope that if eventually this channel does take off, I think my ultimate goal is, I just want to make people fucking laugh, dude. I want to make people laugh. I want to make them smile. Fuck it, make them cry a little bit, But I don't want people to feel like they're on their own, that I want them to be less frightened, And yeah, that's it. So I bid you adieu, and I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, wonderful year. This has been Incoherent Ramblings, ladies and gentlemen, with your host, Mo Busy, Isaiah. Ciao.